Come on, let's go outside, let's take a walk in the sun. There are things to learn and things to see, a big wide world for you, your dog, and me. Dog Talk.
Hi folks, welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker, and our show today is all about working dogs. Some that defend, some that care, some that work with the disabled, and some that are just wonderful little dogs that visit people and make them happy. And this is where we're starting with Stephanie Summers. How are you, my dear?
I'm good, thank you.
And your dog, Murphy. How are you, Murphy? Yes, you're a smiley little boy. Yes, can we turn around and look at the camera there? There you go. I've got everybody to see. Now, this is a golden doodle, obviously. Very golden doodle. I mean, he epitomizes that. Now, I will say, folks, this dog's a little overweight. Don't like to see him too overweight because it's hard on their bones, hard on their joints. However, Murphy is a happy dog, and I can tell that. So, your dog is a therapy dog, so where does he do his thing?
He works at South Lake Elementary School in the special education classrooms.
So, are you a teacher?
I am not. I just volunteer.
You volunteer
Yes.
to do this. I see how wonderful that is. And we know how much help that therapy dogs can do in schools. Kids read to them. Kids feel comfortable with them. The dog puts them at ease. And Murphy sees that he's got treats here. Did you notice that? Murphy has a good
He checks my bags when I go shopping.
I see that he is well conditioned to do that. Well, we appreciate so much you bringing him in because we are starting, as I say, with this whole show is about working dogs, dogs that do things for and with people. And the therapy dog thing is huge. So is it a group? Which group are you with?
A New Leash on Life. And we work with them, and we just started the school therapy is kind of a new area for us. And with more public schools, they're kind of trying out Murphy. And he's made a big difference this year, so we'll definitely be back next year.
Who wouldn't like a happy little dog like Murphy?
More dogs.
I mean, the only thing about Murphy, if he just learned to relax a little.
When he walks in the school, it's like Elvis has entered the building. It's Murphy!
I love it. I love it. And they hug him, and of course, that's the wonderful thing about the doodle impulse on this, because this dog is so soft. Well, we appreciate it, as I say, and starting off our program with this kind of working dog, there is such value in this dog. They bring great comfort to retirement villages, people who are in the hospital and just need a little bit of a lift.
Yes.
These dogs now just go about everywhere. They cannot go where service dogs do, but they do a great deal of help that way, and we are so appreciative. I hope that you will always volunteer and do this kind of thing, and you do understand the value, right? You do.
Oh, yes.
It's very gratifying, isn't it?
That's why we started the therapy dog work. We saw how much joy he brought to people around us, and so we thought we should share that.
I've had 3 of them, and I will never forget the experiences. They were wonderful. And along that line, we are going to get Murphy. Murphy can now get into all of this good stuff, and we are going to give you, as the Dog of the Week, Murphy, a $100 gift certificate to A1 Pet Emporium. You can go buy him some toys in there. As I say, I have gotten some toys. Uh-oh, Murphy sees these. What is that, Murph? Is that, what did that do? Oh, he says, I like it. I like it. Murphy's going to take that home with him. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, my friend Greg Moore is here, the Eggman, and we're going to let him co-host with us. We'll be right back.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
The next type of dog that we want to talk about, this working dog, is a police dog. And the value of these dogs is enormous. To protect, to defend, these are all characteristics and training that these dogs need. And we're talking today with Police Chief Rob Grossenclose. How are you?
Very good, thank you, ma'am.
It's so good to see you. I spoke with you, I guess about a month ago. I had seen an article where it was talking about the Nakoma Park area needing a police dog of this kind. And I called you and I said, what's going on? And you said, well, we feel that we do need these. Why is this kind of dog so important in your work?
Well, it brings a whole other set of tools to police work, both heightened senses, speed, and those things can be used in many, many different ways. As far as children come up lost, we can track children, we can track bad guys, we can find narcotics. There's many, many different uses for a canine, and it just adds one more tool in the toolbox of law enforcement.
Yeah, you know, and I remember Greg Moore, a friend of mine over here from KTOK, who surprised me and came in today, and I said, hey, I'm loving to have you.
Put me to work.
Put you to work.
I'm a working dog.
You work like a dog.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, and Greg and I can understand this because we see them all the time and we report about them on the radio, on television, but this dog had to be something special. Why?
They're bred to do work. They're bred to work. They're not pets.
Right.
These dogs they spend a lot of time in training. Once they finish their training, then they are, in our case, our handler spent 2 weeks with the dog actually at the training academy, learning each other. And
from where did you get this dog?
We got him from Little Rock Canine Academy.
Oh, excellent. Well, you know, I sent a couple of our best guys out to kind of give you a little interview there. And so I thought we might see that. That'll give us some more insight, you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it.
I'm here in Nakoma Park with the police chief, Rob Grossenclose, and we're going to be talking about a new addition to the team. It's a canine unit.
Absolutely, and his name is Lex. He is a 2-year-old German Shepherd. We recently finished a fundraiser that lasted about 2 months long, so where actually this dog was purchased from community donations, so it's actually, the way we feel, is a part of the community. So this is the community's dog. It brings a tremendous tool to us. It can help us with narcotics apprehension, tracking, many, many different ways. So this was a huge project that fortunately we're a very small department, but we were able to do, and thanks to a whole bunch of people's help.
And we were talking a little bit earlier. This is a project that hits pretty close to home for you all here.
Absolutely. Several years ago we had a canine officer here, and it was a tremendous impact to the community. It helped a lot. That officer left, and a few months later was killed in a car accident. So this is very special to all of us to be able to bring this back, to be able to bring what we feel like is part of our agency back.
Now, what does it mean for the community to have a canine unit versus not having one?
Not having one, you're handicapped to depend on other agencies. Like the closest one to us is Midwest City or Hara or Oklahoma County. If we have an incident where we need a canine, which is fairly often, especially on traffic stops in the area, you tie up not only one officer, but you have an officer coming from another jurisdiction to help us, which is a secondary concern for them. So it's not something that would be their priority. So from time to time, we would be waiting for that assistance for quite some time.
All right, well, thanks, Chief. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're actually going to meet our canine unit.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
Okay, I'm back here with Officer Baker and Officer Lex. Lex is from the Netherlands, correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about Lex?
He's a 2-year-old German Shepherd. It was imported from Europe, the Netherlands. We got him from the Little Rock Canine Academy there in Little Rock, Arkansas. He's trained to detect the odors of narcotics, criminal apprehension, tracking, article searches. he's my partner 24/7. So.
And you're a big part of picking Lex. What made you choose Lex?
Really, it comes down to preference. It's the style of the working dog. He's real methodical. Basically, straight across the board, he was exactly what I wanted. So for me, he was my top pick.
What's it like working with a canine unit on a daily basis?
Well, it's a lot of work. Not only the grooming and care for the dog, and all my other duties as a police officer as well, but the paperwork involved with the dog. I have to keep training records, deployment records, so on for cases that we get out on the streets, and then also I take on the task of running the dog for other agencies as well. So
now, Lex is a police officer, canine unit, but what should the public do if you come across a dog, a canine unit? Are you allowed to go up to the dog, or
no?
Is it...
It's better not to approach the dog at all. Each dog has their own temperament and their own personality, just like a human does. Some dogs are not social whatsoever. That was one of the things that I was attracted to Lex with as well. He's social, but also when we're at work, he knows we're working, and I mean, overall he's my protector. Mm-hmm. So he's going to do whatever he has to do to protect me if he feels that I'm in danger. So you don't want to approach a canine or pet the canine without the handler saying it's okay to do so.
And from what we were talking about, it sounds like Lex has already kind of been on the job and already had, you know, kind of a break.
Yeah, we've been out for 3 days now, three shifts. I mean, we're still trying to get used to each other. This is one of the biggest things to overcome. We still have a lot of bonding to do, so it's coming along pretty good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're going to do a demonstration and learn about the bite, right?
The apprehension, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to have another officer in a bite suit, and we're going to see Lex in action.
Watch him. Watch him. Watch him. Watch him. Watch him. Right there, Tim. Good boy. Good boy. Suspect, come here. I'll release my dog. He'll bite you. Stop it. Oh, yeah, good boy.
Wow.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Good. Good. Suspect, stop fighting my dog. Stand still. Lex house. Lex house. Good.
Wow, that was kind of important, and so I'm amazed. This dog is something special. And you were telling me that the dog gets along. Your daughter was there, and the dog gets along with everybody?
Absolutely. He's a very social dog for a police dog. As a matter of fact, before we filmed this, my 7-year-old was just playing with him a little bit, so it's to see the change in temperament is amazing.
Yes, yes. You know, the thing that always impresses me so much in these kinds of dogs, this kind of training, the impulse control is unbelievable. It's something there again. As a matter of fact, my friend Greg was looking for a German Shepherd, and those also are dogs that are used in this kind of training and everything.
I'm still a little sore from that takedown we just saw, because you know that really kind of hurt, but that's okay.
You and I would not last 1 second, my dear.
No,
not
no.
1 second. But it is so impressive, and it's just it's exciting to know that you're going to have this animal to help you. The value is unreal.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
So you're thinking about getting a second one someday?
I don't know. We'll just have to see how this one goes and see how. We're expecting the service life to be between 5 and 7 years, so we'll see how that produces. And we'll
so,
go
what
from
are
there.
the people in Nakoma Park? Are they aware? Are they impressed?
They are. They're extremely excited. Since we started this fundraising project, you can't drive a Nakoma Park police car around without somebody stopping you and say, "When's the dog going to get here?" And it's really exciting. It's an exciting time to be here, and it's an exciting time to be a part of our police department.
Well, we are so pleased and proud for you, Rob. It is just wonderful. And tell Doyle that we said hello, and the dog's name again?
Lex.
Is Lex. And maybe next time we can bring Lex in, since he's so social.
We will.
We're going to take a break.
I have to call his agent.
We'll call his agent. I think he has a couple. We're going to take a break, folks. We'll be right back.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
None of us here in Oklahoma will ever forget the Murrah building bombing. It was horrendous for us. Something that will go down in our history because we are not that kind of state. What in the world happened? We don't know. But the lady who does know, Wilma Melville, came to Oklahoma with her service dog and decided that this was so horrible an experience that she needed to find some way to help internationally, and she did. She founded the Service Dog Foundation, and we are here with Mark Edwards.
Yes,
how are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for having me.
Greg Moore, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Greg and I have talked about these dogs on our radio shows so many times, and now with the TV, we can now see these dogs, and it's so real, it's so wonderful. This
Absolutely.
is Taz.
This is Taz.
And Taz was started training, as I remember, in 2008.
Yes, ma'am.
He was taken from a shelter.
Yes.
This is the thing about these dogs that we were talking about. These are dogs that don't make great family pets. They don't make great pets to play with because their drive is so high. They are taken from these shelters and rescues because of that. They are selected because of it. A shelter says, no, this dog's going to knock somebody down. All he wants to do is play ball. Well, this is the kind of dog that the Search Dog Foundation needs. They took Taz, they made him a champion,
That's
and
right.
You've had him for how many years now?
I guess I've had him for 7 years.
7 years.
Yes.
And now I understand that some of the dogs from this foundation are being deployed to Nepal.
That's right.
This is a horrible thing that's happened there, but they have a need. I'm going to let him leave the set. He is so, there again, so high energy. We'll get Nikki to come and take him.
Yeah.
Nikki, thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you. Yeah, and this is the thing that these dogs have a propensity for focusing on finding something.
That's
This
right.
is where their focus is. It takes such a long time to train these dogs. And I can remember having spoken with Deborah and with Wilma, you know, it's when they are selected, that is just the beginning. It takes so much time to train them, and then those dogs are donated to teams as across our state. As a matter of fact, I think Chet Clark has Elvis.
Yes, yes.
And still has Elvis?
Yes, ma'am.
How about Brent Koinger? He has Huck?
Yes.
Still there?
Actually,
Jason Smith and Jagger?
Yeah, and Jagger, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And Dana, of course, in Salsa.
That's right.
We had them on the show. These dogs are extraordinary. How is it to live with? How are they to live with?
I'm telling you what, every day's a trial. Every day's a trial. This is the type of dog that you have to train every day because they have such large motors. I mean, their prey drive is just off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have a job. And like you alluded to earlier, that's the reason they're in animal shelters and they're strays, because people just really don't have the passion or the ability to manage this type of animal. It makes it
They're escape
awesome.
artists, number one.
Absolutely.
They like to get out and run.
That's right. All the qualifications that make them a horrible pet make them an awesome search dog.
Absolutely. And of course, I did a series on TV called The World of Dogs, and I was very fortunate into being able to be at a certain area where they were using search dog teams for the bombing there in New York. And it is an enormous opportunity because all of a sudden those dogs do get focused.
That's right.
But what they have to go through, the rubble, the heat, the scents that are toxic, it's not an easy thing. Most dogs could not really handle this, but these dogs, because of their propensity for, as you say, going after something, doing something, the energy level, this is what sells it. This is what
Absolutely,
happens.
Absolutely. When you're kind of knocking your head against the wall because these dogs have such large prey drives and they're just nonstop all the time. When a deployment comes up, such as Moore, when we go to Moore, and we're searching for hours upon hours, then you kind of think back how grateful you are that this dog has, you know, that large a motor to him, has that large a prey drive, because he's going to work his tail off. And we train every day. We do a group training every week. And we train with a lot of distractors. We train with clothing. We train with food. We train with a lot of distractors that we do not want that dog to hit on. Therefore, when the deployment happens, the only thing that he's going to alert on is live human scent. It's very focused. We're not concerned about anything other than live, viable people.
Exactly. And these dogs, as different from the cadaver dogs, these dogs do hunt for the live scent.
That's right.
Of the
that's
people.
Right. The mission behind us is get on the scene as quickly as we can. And Taz lives at the fire station. When I go to the fire station, he lives at home when I go at home in Oklahoma City. And as soon as a tornado or some type of disaster occurs, we want to be on the ground immediately and clear as much area as we can for live, viable victims. And then the next stage moves in, the next stage after that. But with all the equipment we have in Oklahoma City, we have search cameras, we have DELSAR listening devices, we have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of technology that are designed to detect live human scent. There's nothing faster than the God-given canine.
Exactly. That is exactly right. Their sensing ability and their hearing ability is unreal. And I understand it was a search dog that discovered the young man who was in Nepal.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
After being there for so long a time. And God bless you for what you guys do. I feel so strongly about this group, and as I have told Wilma, any help that we can be whatsoever, I am going to make a $2,500 donation in the names of the guys here in our state for this foundation. It is just a token as far as I'm concerned, because the cost of producing these dogs is enormous.
Well, thank you very much.
It takes hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it, but we do what we can. And we are so proud of all of you. We went, as a matter of fact, my producer Janice went out and got a little demonstration there, and she tells me it was awesome. So we're going to take a look at that.
Canines are a state resource that we can use throughout the state and also regional. Some of these dogs have been deployed to Joplin, Missouri during the tornadoes, and a majority of them have been to Moore and other areas, Little Axe and Bethel Acres. What we're doing today is mock training. We do this every week. Every Wednesday we come out and we train. And these are live, fine dogs. They're not cadaver dogs or anything such as that. They're all live victim, and that's what we're concerned about. The initial response is that we want to find all the viable bodies we can, and then in the second and the third phase is when the cadaver dogs, the other type of animals, come in for detection. What we'll do on a rubble site is that we'll hide the victims out of sight, and then we'll release the dogs, and when they come into human scent, they'll bark, a cadence of barking. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 300. Until we get up there, we locate that victim, we go ahead and reward that dog with a toy. We have the exchange, the interaction, and mark the victim, let the dog go and find more victims if there are more. And that's how it works out, is that, as far as they know, it's just pheasant hunting, or it's a game of hide and seek, it's something like that. That's all they're doing. They're not doing anything heroic. They know that human scent, if I bark, I get rewarded. That's really all they know. And it's up to us as the handlers to do everything else for them, to do the mapping for the other companies to come in for extrication, to transfer that information, to pull the victims out, and everything else all comes on the handler.
The fourth group of dogs that we'd like to discuss today are the service dogs. These dogs do everything that is necessary for a person who is disabled to make that person's life viable, to give them a life. And this is the importance of the service dog. This relaxed little guy down in front of us here, who's taking a brief nap.
A little high-strung.
Little high-strung, if he could just learn to relax. But this is, of course, part of the temperament of a lab. Is that right, Barbara Lewis?
That is right, and so many people, when they see their labs pulling them down the street, they think, well, my dog would never be able to do this, but it is part of training, and they do have the ability to be with you.
So Annabelle, this dog is obviously a chocolate lab, and we'll call him England at this particular juncture. And I was telling my friend Greg about these dogs. they do just about everything, don't they?
They sure do.
Now, this particular dog is earmarked for what kind of disability? What will he be doing?
Working with someone in a power chair,
All right.
picking up things they drop, opening, closing doors, light switches.
All of the things that are necessary. As a matter of fact, we did a little interview when we were down there, went down there and we're talking about that. And so he does not only turn off light switches, he opens refrigerator doors.
Yes.
He accompanies, and this is the big thing, that when you envision a wheelchair, Greg, with a person in it, and most of them are electric now,
Yes.
so they wheel themselves around. These dogs have to stay right by that wheelchair. They have to they don't guide the person, but they have to stay out of the way, you know, for obvious reasons. But they have to be brave enough and have enough courage and confidence in what they're doing. So Barbara, how long does it take to train a dog like this?
Well, from the time we get them as an 8-week-old puppy until they go to the client is 2 years. So they spend a year learning how to control themselves in public, just their basic manners. And then they spend another 6 or 8 months with a trainer learning how to do the specialty stuff, opening doors. But another thing it does when the dog is with the client in public, if you're in public in a wheelchair, typically you're invisible. People don't know what to say to you, they don't want to hurt your feelings, so therefore they just don't say anything. But if you have a dog with you, all of a sudden the chair goes away.
Yeah, and of course we realize that you should not approach a service dog like this to distract them from their jobs. But I know that we have had Rebecca, who is one of your
puppy raisers.
We've had that little dog on, and that dog is in process of getting there.
Right.
But this dog is now finished.
Well, he's close to being finished. About probably 30 more days, and he'll be ready to go to the client. But then you have to work with the client and the dog together for another 6 months in order for the dog, because the training is not like a computer, or it's not like a machine. The training does not transfer from me to her just because they're trained. Now they're with a different client. The rules might be different, and dogs, as we know, are very self-serving, manipulative creatures.
Well, the nap training was really good.
You think here? Sure. Come here. Come here, England.
Just finished the nap training.
Exactly,
Yes.
the nap training is gone. Well, you can see the value. All of these working dogs, every single position is so important. Every job that they have. We depend on dogs throughout our entire lives for so many things. I have always said, you know, the ability that these dogs have is extraordinary. And for people to say that, that they have not evolved like we did, excuse me, that's arrogant. I think dogs have evolved. So, Barbara, how does a person, if they are disabled, how do they get in touch with New Leash on Life?
Well, we have an application process, because even though they're wonderful and they do great things, dogs are really not for everyone.
Well, and this is the fact. Folks, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that we have given you a little insight into all the working dogs. We'll see you next week.